To my Thursday live. I hopped on here a few minutes early just to get my iPad going and everything. If you're here, say hi, let me know you're here, and we will get started in just a few minutes. All right. Hey, I got the hi Vicky, hi Carol, welcome. I actually figured out the iPad thing, so I'm getting better with the technical stuff here. It's starting to come together here. I'm just going to give it a few minutes. Hi Yvonne, welcome. Welcome. We're going to be making another flower today, but we're going to be using a different technique. All right, welcome. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're staying cool. It is really hot here in California. So I've been inside the air conditioner and staying nice and cool. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Mary Rose. Oh, that's such a pretty name. I like that. Welcome. We're just going to give it a few minutes and we're going to get started. I'm not sure how long this one's going to take, but I have prepped. Hi, Betty. Welcome. Hi. Thanks for joining. Hi, Shannon. Welcome. Welcome. I'm just giving it a couple minutes. I got my iPad working. I'm starting to figure out some of that technical stuff a little bit more. Hopefully I'm in the screen okay. If I can always scoot back a little bit. Hi, Nancy, Yvonne, Lori. Oh, that always makes me laugh. That makes me laugh. I love that. That's so sweet. Oh my gosh, 100. Yeah. And is it get humid there as well in Miami? Because we have, ours is very dry. It's a dry heat. And I'm sure it's in the hundreds today. It is hot. But I'm excited. I am getting ready for a couple vacations. So I've been working really hard to try to get everything in order here in the studio before I go. And I'm so excited. We have a cruise coming up, an 8-day cruise, and then we have a trip to Oklahoma where we get to enjoy that nice humidity that we don't get here. Yes, oh, I bet. So 100 probably feels like 110 with the humidity. The first time we went, because we're not used to that humidity, and the first time we went to visit my family that all left me and went to Oklahoma 30 years ago, I loved it. I thought it was great. And my husband was dying. He was just like dripping the whole time. All right, well, we're going to get started because this might take a little bit. I have my coffee. I've had a couple nights where I wasn't able to sleep. So it was another 4 a.m. morning for me. Sorry, I just had to get a sip there. And then we're going to get started. So we're going to do this petal method. It's a no-fray petal method that I saw on my girl, my lady. I love her so much. She's my business coach, Julie, with Julie's Wreath Boutique, and she did this no-fray petal that I saw her do not that long ago, and I thought, you know what, let's give it a try. It looked really fun to do, and I wanted to give it a go. And I like the fact that it's no fray, so you can use your poly burlap like we're using, and you don't have to use a wood burner tool or any of that because it hides all of that stuff. Oh, Yvonne, yes, yes. I'm sure it takes a while to get used to. I loved sitting out there on that deck, but I don't live in it. It was just visiting, you know. So, okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to make another flower, and I'm using that mustard yellow because I told you I have a lot of this mesh, and this is a great way for me to use up some of those rolls that I didn't finish from the last sunflowers that we did. Lori, usually I like to get my poly burlap from Craft Outlet. That's probably my favorite place to shop. This, I got a bunch of this from Amazon. It came in a 3-pack. It was a couple seasons ago when I was doing all those pumpkin wreaths, and it was the only orange that I could find. So it came in a 3-pack. And that's why I have so much of this. It came with the orange, the brown, and then this mustard yellow. But poly burlap or Craft Outlet is a great place to buy your mesh, your poly burlap. They're very affordable. The rolls are nice and big, and I'm actually need to place another order, and they have a great ribbon, signs, you name it, they have it. I know you like to shop there too, huh, Shannon? It's just so affordable. And now with the old 99-cent store going up to 175, I am not happy about that. It just makes it different. So I think I'm going to be steering clear of the Dollar Tree. I went in last night to grab some of these, and I just dropped one. You know, I got like 3 of them at $6 and something, and I thought, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do that anymore. All right, yes, Craft Outlet is awesome. And I am shopping at TMI Gifts now because I'm doing collaborations with them, and I really liked my first wreath kit that I designed, and I really like the quality of the florals and everything that I got. So I'm definitely going to be shopping with them as well. So we're going to get started. I have a whole bag here of petals that I prepped. So I just left a few here that we can do together. And what you do, first of all, we're going to be using a 12-inch wreath form, and I have it with the plastic canvas mesh zip tied in the middle. And this is a size 5, which I usually like to work with because it has the bigger holes, and it's really easy for most zip ties to go through. But they also have the little rounds like this you can get as well from Hobby Lobby. So this comes in a big rectangular sheet in a pack, and you just cut it down yourself. Yes, Lori. Oh, you're gonna get in trouble there. Trust me. They have so much great stuff. I mean, signs, everything, and it's so affordable. Every color of mesh you can think of, foil mesh, everything. They have it all. It's great, and their shipping is really fast. And I think if you get free shipping if you order $50 or more, and it comes very fast. I've had to pay extra for when I was in a bind trying to get that orange mesh in time. So they also have options where they can do, you could pay extra for overnight or whatever. I know, Betty. Yes, they are. Hobby Lobby is putting it out. I actually grabbed a couple little picks that I needed for some centers, and I was like, oh goodness. But I decided when Hobby Lobby starts putting their stuff out, that's in the wreath world, that's when I need to start moving on to the next season. Because sometimes I get caught up and I don't get, it's hard to advance to the next season. You got to really stay ahead of the game. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this this petal here. And it's cut into 16 inches, and it's a poly burlap mesh. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it over, kind of like this, like that. And then we're going to flip it over this way. And you're going to see that that finished edge seam right there. You'll see it through the mesh, and just follow along, like maybe right under that. And we're just pinching and grabbing to the other side. And when I get to this end, I just tuck in that side. And you're going to make these little petals that look a little different than the ones that we did before. And they have a tip, and they make a really pretty flower. And then the back looks like that. So you have a front and a back. And all those edges are all hiding, and it's not going to fray on you. So we're going to just prep these few together. Yes, I know, Doris. Dollar Tree has gotten out of control. I mean, I feel like we just came to terms of it going to 125, you know? And I mean, that was a big jump from that to 175. Like I think 150 would have been you know, you could ease into it a little bit more, but that's just wrong. So it really makes you rethink things. So we're just taking this and we're folding it over like that. So it's coming over the edge a few inches here, just like that. And then you're folding it in half that way. And I'm left-handed, so whichever, if you want to pinch in the middle and go one side, you can do that like this, and then come around the other side. But I find it easier just to kind of pinch along that edge. And this side I like to tuck at the end. And then you can adjust it. Like if one side looks a little wonky, just adjust it before you add your zip tie. And you don't have to add the zip tie. Oh, Vito, go go get your shot. I know, that's what I'm afraid, is that in the middle of this live, I won't say his name too loud, that he's gonna want to go out. So I try to make sure all that's done. He's over there snoring, so I should be okay for a while. I know the last live he started pawing at me. How big of an overhang? So the overhang goes over about 2 inches, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't want to go too far because then it's going to make a smaller of a petal. Just about 2 inches, and it doesn't have to be exact or perfect on this. So I have it over just like that. So once I do that, and it's curl side up, and then I'm flipping this whole thing in half here. And then whichever way you want to do it, I'm left-handed, and I don't know, that's just easier for me to go this way. So now I'm just pinching and grabbing right under that seam that you could see that goes through the mesh. And then we have another petal, and then I'm just going to adjust it a little bit. And they're all going to be irregular. They're not all, it's not going to be perfect. And it just gives it a different look, a different petal. I like that point. I think that point is pretty cool. And then you have this open edge right here, which all those ends are all tucked in. The mesh is cut at 16 inches, Gail. Thank you, Donna. And we're just prepping. I left a few to prep, and then I have the whole bag of them that I already did. And what I liked about this method is, you know how I was telling you in the pumpkin that I use the first half of the rolls? Well, this I use the last half of my other rolls. So it's a great way to use up some mesh here. So I'm just coming over a few inches, 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Folding it in half. And pinching. Yeah, it's a fun petal, Shannon. I think it has a really neat look to it, and I think it's fun. We're just experimenting with different petal techniques, and I like that tip. I think that's really cool. How do I hide the comments? Mary Rose, I'm not sure how to hide the comments. I'm sorry. I'm still new to all this going live and all the technical stuff of going live, so I don't know how to do all that stuff. Can't see for the chat over her hand. Maybe if you hit the X on the live chat, it'll probably close the screen. Can everyone see me okay? Am I in the angle where you can see the table? Because sometimes it's hard to get the right angle. All right, it's so nice to be able to see the messages. Can't see for the chat is over her hand. Yeah, I would just try. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I would try Xing out the chat box and seeing if that closes it down. So I'm coming over, and it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. You can even like come over a little bit too, but it's not going to matter because everything gets hid. And it really does, it's only a little bit extra, so it's not like you're wasting that much mesh. And what's great is it has a nice bold look because it's almost like you're tripling up the colors by folding it and then folding it again. And it's just a nice, dark, beautiful color that you can really highlight the color of your mesh. Yeah, I don't think I would be able to get out of the chat because then I'm not going to be able to see your comments and interact. So those are the ones that I saved, and now what we're going to do is clip off the zip ties, and we're going to trim the excess off. And I'm just trimming it about an inch from that zip tie. Oh, thank you, Lori. I really love this mustard yellow. I've used it for so many things, and I love it too. I think it's so pretty. Oh, thank you, Yvonne, for helping me out on that technical stuff. I'm telling you, when I first started, I struggled big time. I didn't even know how to flip from my regular Facebook page to my other, my business page. Like, how do you flip? How do you do this? And then there's the 3 dots, but I've had to learn a lot. Hi, Trina, welcome, welcome. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to add it to our 12-inch wire wreath frame, and we have the canvas mesh zip tied to the center. I did 2 zip ties per section, so it's on there very good. Yes, it would be very pretty on the Unique and the Creek board. I agree. Those boards make everything easy. But I like using the wire frames as well. I like just to kind of do a little bit of everything. I still have, I'm going to be doing her sunflower, that kit on the Unique and the Creek board really soon here. Okay, so now we're going to get started by adding, these are the ones I've prepped, and we're going to add to the crossbars. Okay, so I always name my bars from the outside going in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to attach to the crossbar and the number 2 bar. And so basically, and you don't have to, you could always You don't have to do the zip ties and all that. I just wanted to prep them ahead of time. But if you were like, say you were making this and you wanted to save on zip ties, you could just use the chip clip, do your other one, and then zip tie them and use one big zip tie. So I'm going to come around that bar and that number 2. And actually, let me just get it started because it's giving me a hard time. And then we're going to stick the 2 petals in here. And we're just going to go around and doing 2 petals per crossbar. So it's going to be something like that. And you could place them however you want. If you want to spread them out more or overlap them more, that's up to you. What are you working on next, Shannon? Oh, I was going to tell you, I love that your rose turned out so pretty. And that color is absolutely gorgeous of that mesh that you picked out. Do you remember the name of that color? It was like a peach or something. It was so pretty. Hi, Lori. Welcome back. Is Vito all good? He's got allergies. I kind of think Turbo does too because he gets the weepy eyes a lot. Did you like doing the rose, Shannon? Was it a lot easier than you thought it was going to be? I always say that because it looks like it would be so hard, and then when you do it, you're like, oh, that was easy. So I'm going around the crossbars and the number 2 bar, and we're attaching our 2 petals. And I'm trying to get my zip tie above those other zip ties. So we have a couple sets already, and I like the look of those leaves. I think I'll be using this technique for a lot of my flower leaves. Oh, it was a coral. Was it a combination of meshes, Shannon? Did you do double them up? Because it was gorgeous. Oh, it was so pretty. Did you decide if you wanted to do leaves on it or not? Or if you ended up doing the leaves? All right, so we're going to go around and add all of the green before we start adding our others. Oh, you alternated. Oh, that's why it, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go take another peek at it because I did notice there was some variation, but I was thinking it was the mesh. Oh, it's so pretty. It really was gorgeous. Yeah, once you got out of that number 5 section is yeah. I always say that that's the hardest section because you have all those zip ties and you're trying to work around those. And once you get out of that section, you're in the home stretch. All right, so we're just going to keep adding these. So you got the where'd you get the fabric? Oh, on Etsy. I don't think I've ever used fabric mesh. Or maybe I have. I think I have used it for the patriotic cross wreath I did. I used that. It was kind of like, almost felt like a canvas. All right, so I just preloaded these, make it a little bit easier to get my leaves in there. Oh, yeah. Lori, did you say that you had, is Vito a pug as well? Turbo goes back in pretty soon for his recheck on his ears. He seems to be doing much better. Your aunt wants it. Yeah, I think it's gonna look really pretty with the leaves. I mean, it looks beautiful without the leaves too. But I think the leaves just give it a nice little pop. Oh, I guess I prepped more than I needed here. I bet your family gets so excited. They always get beautiful wreaths from you. Yes, Betty, I know you have a lot of goodies. You sent me that picture and you have a lot of fun stuff to choose from, that's for sure. Yeah, you could do a lot of things with your supplies that you have right now. And I want to see that pumpkin. Oh, he's a Saint Bernard. Oh, God bless him. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, they're adorable. Is he huge? Yes, you are going to have a lot of fun, Betty. You're going to make a lot of neat stuff. Were those supplies that you collected, or did somebody give you some of the stuff? Oh, there you go, Shannon. I like that. You can pay me with gift cards. That always works for me, too. Oh my gosh, 243 pounds? Holy smokes, does he eat you out of house and home, Lori? Wowzers, that's a big boy, Vito. Oh, I bet he's so cute. Okay, so now we're moving on to some yellows. And let me grab all of my yellows here. And you want to make sure that you're going on the right side. That's what the back looks like. Oh, wow. That's where you had all that stuff from, Betty. Lucky you. Oh my gosh, 12 cups of food a day. Do you make your own dog food? Because I know some people do. I'm like, whew, that's a lot of work to make your pet's dog food. But I know that's the best way to go to be healthy and all of that. Okay, so now we're going to start in the number 2 bar. And we're going to do 2 yellow leaves in between our green. So I'm just going to go and preload the zip ties. I like to do that. It makes it go by a little bit faster. Oh, wow. That is crazy. They know you by name, where you get the dog food, huh? I bet people go crazy over him when you take him places. And he's probably like a big baby, huh? Wants to be on your lap and acts like he's a little dog. All right, so I'm just preloading. And then what I did was we're going to do a center, and I'm going to have you all decide on what center we should do for this. I have a couple different options. I know last week people were asking if I make my own centers, and I love to make my own centers. So I have some different options that we can decide on when we're ready for that part. Okay, so we're going to add 2 now in the middle here of these green. And you can always, when you get them on the bar, you could slide it left or right to get exactly where you want this. And I'm putting the zip tie right above the zip tie that's on the petal. I really like those leaves. They're so pretty, this technique. You know, that's a good question, Betty. I am not good with the names of the petals. I think she called it a no-fray petal. I don't know the technical name of it, but yeah, that's what she referred to it as, a no-fray petal. Which, as you can see, it's not fraying. All the ends are tucked in, and you could just cut your poly burlap with the rotary cutter or scissors and don't have to use that wood burner tool. It's a great option, and everything's nice and tucked in. Yeah, I'm not good with all these petal names, nor am I good with knowing who invented the petal and all that stuff. I just see something that I like and I want to make it. All right, so now we're adding 2 per section in between our leaves. And this is what we have so far. It starts coming along really fast when we prep all of our petals ahead of time. And this really was very quick prepping everything. A lot faster than the pumpkin petals. Oh, thank you, Betty, for reminding. Don't forget to like this live. It really helps me and my algorithm on YouTube. And if you're not subscribed, you could always scroll down. I think there's an about. It'll say about, and then you can hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. It really helps me out with my YouTube channel. That's why they always say like and subscribe, because the more likes, the more subscribers, the more you'll get pushed out in the algorithm. All right, so here we go. We're making our way around. Yes, I'm so excited. We leave, when do we leave? Oh boy, we leave on our cruise on the 19th. We like to cruise. We usually do it for our anniversary every year, and it's our 28th anniversary. And I'm really excited because they called, Carnival called me and they asked if I wanted to upgrade, and I was like, normally I wouldn't do that, but I couldn't pass it up because it was a great deal. And so there must have been some sort of cancellation or something, because the cruise is booked and it's fully sold out. And we upgraded to the spa rooms, which is balcony, and then you have access to to the spa things like the hot tub, which I think is a great option because it's kind of quiet and you can actually like enjoy the hot tub without tons of kids in it. And the saunas, and then they said something about like heated chairs, and just the balcony alone is like worth it. And then you get extra like better shampoos and the white robe and slippers. So I'm I'm really excited. This is going to be really fun. I was trying to hide it from my husband, and he's like so it's hard to surprise him. And then he noticed when I did our boarding passes that our room changed from the 9th floor to, because usually we like to stay right around Lido deck, to the 14th floor. And he was like, I was like, oh, I don't really know why they did that. So I caved. I had to tell him, and he was super excited because he always wants the balcony room, but I don't want to pay extra because I get really good deals on the cruises because I like to gamble. And so I always get a lot of great offers on that kind of stuff. All right, so this is what, hi B, welcome. This is what we have so far. And like I said, if you want to move anything, adjust anything, overlap the yellows, you could still slide them on those bars. And look how pretty that's coming along. It's going to be a pretty flower. Now we're going to attach it. So the other ones we attached to the number 2 bar. Now we're going to attach to that number, let's see, which bar do I want to do it on? Do I want to do that one? I might start going on to the mesh right now. I think we might go to the mesh. I think if I go on that number 2 bar, I don't know if that's going to, let me see here. Yeah, I think we'll go on the number 2 bar. So now we're going to do 2 more. Let me just kind of see what I'm doing here. That's going to give us another. And then we're going to be doing more. So it's going to really start stacking on each other. Okay, so we're going to, let me put a couple on this number 2 bar and see what it looks like. All right, I'm going to start going on each side of the leaves. Let me see what it looks like on the number 2 bar. Can you hear Turbo snoring? Shannon, I was going to ask you, I know you said you had pugs before. Did any of your pugs ever have to have that nasal surgery? Okay, yeah, I think we're going to do the number 2 bar. And let's just start adding. We're going to go on each side of that leaves to start out with. Because my vet mentioned it. She was saying that 90%, I mean, I've heard that pugs and Frenchies have to have that done, but she was saying like 90% of them. And I was like, oh, how much is that? And it's like, she said like $5,000 to $10,000. And I was like, whoa. I mean, he doesn't seem like he has a breathing issues. I mean, he snores, and then I don't take him out in the heat or like overexert him like that. Okay, there we go. So now we're just going around the number 2 bar, or the number, the number 3 bar, because I name them from the outside going in. And we're just layering and placing our petals in between. Usually if you go in between one of those, the ends there, it gives you a good staggered look. All right, that's working. I probably should do, I think we'll try to keep it, well, these are pretty close together. Maybe we can do one in the middle of each of the sets and see what that looks like. And we can always take some off if we feel like it's too much. CPAP machine, yeah. Well, I probably inherited the crafting gene, meme blossoms. I've always loved to craft since I was a little girl. I've been a crafter my whole life. I think I shared in one of my lives that one of my favorite memories were spending the summers at my great aunt's house, and we would go into town on our weekly trips into town, and then I would get so excited. I'd always get some sort of little crafting toy kit, whether it was the paper flowers or the little loom thing where you make the pot holders. I just, and I did a lot of needle point stuff, and I mean, I just did it all. Latch hook. And then my earlier crafting days, I was really into jewelry making. That was before kids. I did a lot of, worked with a lot of little seed beads, crystals, things like that. Made all my bridesmaids necklaces. I was always a crafter. And then I got into, I never was a big sewer though. I didn't really learn how to sew. I've done a couple things, but I wish I would have learned how to do that. So yeah, I think it's working, just going in between each of these petals. And if you need, besides the 2 leaves, you could go on in between. You don't have to, you won't be able to spread those to get them in there, but I think that seems to be working pretty good. And then I was really into the whole world of yarn, and I took up knitting. And I remember when I worked in the restaurants, I knitted a scarf for every single female employee and tried to like incorporate their personality. So I was really into knitting. I had just yarn like crazy. And then I discovered the world of deco mesh, and now that's where I'm at right now. I love working with the deco mesh. Okay, we're gonna try to go on each side of the green leaves. Hopefully I cut enough leaves. If not, we'll just have to make some more together. I can't, Whaley, I'm sorry, because then I can't interact. I have to be able to see the comments because I can't see my phone. It's too far away. It's what's recording. And then my iPad is where the I can't turn the comments off, or I won't be able to answer any questions. I would think that there's a way on your end to be able to hide that. I'm not really sure. All right, so we are making our way around. Yeah, I think maybe that might be too much if I do one there and one here. But I guess you can never have enough layers of petals. Let's just keep it the same. If I have to make more, I'll make some more. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Thank you. Welcome. Hi, Mara. Hi, Zulma. Jerry, welcome. Thank you for joining me. It really means a lot for you to join me on my live journey. This is a new thing for me. And I'm just really excited that you're all here to support me and showing up. It means a lot. It is the fuel that keeps me going when it comes to putting these lives together. And I made it a goal to try to do a live once a week. We all made that goal, right, Shannon? You suggested that, and so far it's been working out. It's been trying, because coming up with 2 designs a week. So I'm doing the best I can. Mine didn't have it done. What are you talking about, Shannon? Didn't have what done? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. That's probably why I couldn't sleep last night, because I ended up scrolling through Pinterest looking for ideas. And we probably are going to have to make some more petals, you know. I just think that we are. So, I mean, this is... Oh, sorry, Shannon. See, I'm like having a scroll moment. Okay. Yeah, I was like, woo, there's no way. I mean, that's a lot of money for a surgery. But I mean, he doesn't have any problems. I think she was just suggesting it because she said 90% of them have to have it done. And he had that severe ear infection. So they were in there. He gets really worked up because he's hyper. I mean, he's super hyper. That's why his name's Turbo. And so he probably was getting worked up, and his breathing was getting a little labored. And then yeah, my petals are getting down there. I'm gonna probably have to grab some more mesh, and we're going to have to cut some more together. I do the best I can. Hi, Teresa. Welcome. Who can hide the comments, Shannon? The viewer? Can you help her out with that? Could you help Whaley out? I don't really know how to hide it on your side. I know on my side I could hit the X and X it out, but then I won't be able to see your comments. And that is the beauty of going live, is you can interact and you can all ask me questions, and it's a beautiful thing. Shannon's going to help you out with that, Whaley. Shannon's better with this technology stuff than I am. All right, so we are just adding our petals. I'm adding them in between the yellows and on each side of the leaves, the big chunk of leaves. And we're running out here. So we are going to have to make some more. Sharon, we were talking about the craft supplies, and this yellow, I've had a lot of this yellow that I'm using up. This was from Amazon, but normally I like to get my mesh from Craft Outlet. I mean, I kind of get them a little bit of everywhere, but you know, sometimes if I don't want to wait and I want to make something really bad, of course I'll go to Hobby Lobby, but I like if I could place a nice order and really stock up. I love Craft Outlet. They have great deals. Their mesh is wonderful. They have poly burlap, deco mesh, poly mesh, foil mesh. They have beautiful ribbon, and I think their prices are very good. Oh, thank you, Shannon Whaley. Did you see that? You just hit that. You hit the X. You just exit out, or you hit full screen. So there should be like a little box or a little icon where you can switch it to full screen. All right, so I think, let's see. Trying to see how many more we have to do here. So this one, this is our first one. Let's do one right there. And we're on the number 3 bar. And then after this bar, we're going to hop into that canvas mesh. Yeah, they're great. If you've never shopped with them, you're going to love them. And I want to say that there's free shipping, $50 or more, and their shipping is very fast. I know you placed that one order, I remember, Shannon, and I couldn't believe how fast it came. Okay, this one was on the number 3. Okay. So the first ones were on the number 2 bar, and then now we're on the number 3 bar. So I made them, I think that's all the number 3s. Let's flip it over and see what we have here. Okay, so let me see. So generally it looks like I have 3. This one could use another one. It looks like I have 3 per section, except for this section right here, which can use another one. So let me flip this section over, and this was this section right here. Oh, thank you, Brenda. This is called a no-fray petal, and you're able to cut the burlap mesh with rotary cutter or scissors, and the way you fold it, it doesn't fray. And if you're here for a little bit longer, I'm going to be cutting some more. So sorry, just hard to see sometimes. Okay, I'm going to put this last one. So it looks like it turned out 3 per section on this number 3 bar. And this is layering really nicely. And now we're going to be moving on to that middle section. Yes, they have some great stuff. I need to get on there. I need to place some orders because I'm not running low. I need some stuff. I need to start prepping for the next seasons. I went next door and started digging through my Halloween and trying to make sense of all that and switching over seasons, but it's so much work. I feel like I just literally put all that stuff away. But it was exciting pulling things out, because then I was like, oh, I remembered that I wanted to do that craft and I couldn't get to it in time. So it's like I get to start out with all those ones I couldn't get to. So I'm excited about the next few tutorials. After the one that I have this Sunday, it's called a no-fray petal. I don't really know. Yeah, they're probably getting busy now. I don't really know the exact name of it. I saw this on my business coach's page, Julie with Julie's Wreath Boutique, and she called it a no-fray petal. So I don't know if it was her petal that she designed, or I'm not really sure, but I thought it was cool and I really wanted to do it. So this is what we have so far. And now we're going to move into that mesh. All right, I like it. But we are going to be cutting some more and making some more petals, Teresa. So if you want to see how you do that, I'll be showing that to you in just a minute, because I think we are going to need a few more, just a few. So now we're going to come into that plastic mesh and we're going to layer. Now, if you had a big sign or something, let's see here. I think I have some over here. Good. Hold on one second. Trying to find this one sign I think would be cute on there. I don't know where that other one is, but this one you could do something. Ooh, that would be cute. Look at that. You could call it a day right there. Oh my gosh, that would actually be really cute. I don't want to take it out of the plastic, but look at how cute that would be. Look at that. This is a nice big sign. I think it's a 12-inch sign, and you could just add that sign and that would be gorgeous. You'd be done right there. I love that. But I didn't think about that, so I wanted to show you how to do a center. Actually, I really like that. That is cute. That is so cute. So I want to say this is from Craft Outlet. And what's nice is their signs have little, if they're metal, they have holes in them, so they're easy to attach it. Yeah, I like that. I really do. Chrissy, I don't sell as much. I mean, I do and I don't. I don't, I sell, like, I'll list this in my Etsy store, but I don't like sell a bunch of stuff. I just sell some things that I make for my tutorials. I still haven't listed that sunflower. I need to list that one as well. That will be listed in my Etsy store. You have to take the pictures and do the listing, and so it's kind of a process. But yeah, so those are the ones that I do sell, is ones that I make that I want to put in my Etsy store, certain ones. So I don't list every single one that I make, but I do, I'm starting to put them back in my Etsy store. So yeah, I don't sell wreaths as much, because I do, the YouTube, since I started doing YouTube tutorials, but I started out selling wreaths. That's how I started, which was selling my wreaths in my Etsy store and really marketing my wreaths for sale. Now my joy is teaching you all how to make beautiful wreaths so you could sell them in your Etsy store and at craft fairs. I think this would be a great seller. I know, isn't it cute? We could just call it a day with that sign. I'm telling you. That sign looks cute with that. I might have to work that into a tutorial or something. But anyway, what we're going to make our own center. That was what the goal was for today. So I'm going to get back to what we're doing here. And now we're going to do another layer. I just got a little sidetracked there. I got excited. I remembered that sign sitting there. So we're going to make, I'm probably going to need at least 3 or 4 more petals. So I'm going to grab some more mesh. Just going to have to excuse me. I'm going to grab it over there. I'll be right back. Another roll of yellow. I have 4 more rolls left of these 3 packs. And I had yellow like in the whole bin. Let's see. You do a lot of sewing and crafting. Are you talking about selling the wreaths, Chrissy? Because you know, I'm not going to say it's easy to sell, but if you know the right, if you really put the work into it, you could sell anything that you want. You just have to get more eyes on your item, and there's many different ways to get more eyes on your item, and that is by growing your following and driving all the traffic back to where you want to drive it back to, whether it be your Etsy store or your website. Like, you can, and those are things that I've learned. I've told you that Julie is my business coach, and I've been in her biz group for over 2 years, and those are the things that you learn in that business group is how to do that, and all the techniques and ways to get more eyes on your product. And there's a lot of people that do I know that's what happens, Chrissy, is I'm like, oh no, I like that, I can't sell that, and then I end up with a million wreaths. Like, people wanted that witches, I don't know if you've seen me, I've been doing the reels. They wanted that witch's cauldron, they wanted that spider, and I couldn't part with them. I love them too much. So I was like, sorry, I'm not for sale. So we're going to, but yes, you can. It's a very, you could make some good money on selling wreaths. And people love all these fun flower wreaths and all the different kind of, they love all the wreaths, but I think that these kind of wreaths sell good because they're unique and they're different and they're fun. Pamela, I don't sell as much as I used to, but I do list a lot of things in my Etsy store. Like, this will go in my Etsy store, the pumpkins in my Etsy store. So if I do a tutorial, and I'll list those in my Etsy store. Not all of them, because there's a lot I want to keep for myself. And then what I do is I'll rotate my favorite ones around. But, I've got wreaths, a lot of wreaths. And so, yeah, I can't keep them all. So, yeah, I do sell certain ones. But that's not my main goal. So I don't really market that. If it sells, it sells. And, it's in my Etsy store, and I'm willing to ship it and sell it that way. I'm cutting my mesh at 16 inches, and then what we're doing is we're just folding it over so it overlaps a couple inches, just like that. And then I'm flipping it in half this way. And so it makes this triangle point, which is the point of your flower. And then you're going to see that finish edge underneath that top layer. Oh, thank you, Chrissy. And if you look at my channel, I have a lot of all kinds of different wreaths. And that is my mission, is to, if you think that you can't make that, you can. And that is what makes me more happy, is to teach people how to make these and to break it down step by step, and so you can have the joy of crafting. You know, it's there's something so fulfilling about making it yourself. It's just so rewarding. So I have, you know, there's a lot of my subscribers are like, I can't do that, it's too hard. I'm like, no, it's not. You just take it step by step, and you can make any of those wreaths that I have on my YouTube channel. And I've been doing it for a couple years now. I'm going on my 3rd year of YouTube. So you just scroll down, because there's a lot of tutorials and a lot of different techniques, and I'm learning and I'm growing. So I'm learning new things, and then I'll share them with you, like this one. I like to trying different techniques, and I'll eventually get to them, but I just take certain ones that I like, and I make them. And I think you're really gonna like this Sunday's tutorial. I haven't shared it yet, but it's really cool, and it's made with the 21-inch mesh, and it is a fun one. So I hope you all tune in for that. Every Sunday, Chrissy, every Sunday I release a tutorial at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then I just started going live every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that is basically how you do that, for those that didn't see these done. Hi, Holly. I'm a Holly too, but with an IE. And we're just folding it over like that, so it overlaps a couple inches, and then folding it in half the other way. And that hides all those cut edges. And then you'll see that seam, that finished edge underneath, and you just follow it along that edge. And then I like to kind of tuck that in over there, so everything's, and it makes a really cool petal. Oh, thank you, Patricia. It's my pleasure. I really I love doing the tutorials and sharing my different techniques with everyone. It's definitely brought me so much joy. I never started my journey thinking that I was going to be a YouTuber ever in a million years. And I was selling my wreaths in my Etsy store. I was doing craft fairs. I was doing all those kind of things before I got into my YouTube channel. And then I was going through some of the trainings in my biz group and Julie's group, and I got completely inspired by her. I was on the YouTube trainings, and she was talking about her journey, and it completely inspired me. And I love it. It was exactly what I was looking for in my journey. And God puts us where we need to be at the right time. But I feel like I had to go through all the other stuff that I was doing with my Etsy store, because all that was learning and growing, and I needed to build on all of that. I couldn't have just hopped right into the YouTube journey. So it's been really fun. It's been really fun. I just got my first YouTube swag sent to me. Because I completed this boot camp that I was in, and I got this YouTube beanie. So I was like really excited about that. But I found my joy is in teaching others how to make making the crafts. And what brings me joy too is seeing all your pictures of that you send me of the wreaths that you made using my tutorials. Like that makes, it brings me to tears sometimes. It's just so beautiful. All right, so that's how you made, that's how we did these petals. And now let's take our wreath back out over here. And now we're going to make one last layer in the middle here, and we're going to go onto the canvas mesh. And there's no right or wrong with this. You're just going to layer it however you want. So let's just kind of do a mock-up here first to see where we want everything. I think we'll do something like that. We want to cover up the other zip ties of the previous one. So, and then we're going to have the center. Hopefully the center is going to be big enough to cover that. So we're going to do something like that. So now we're just going to start. The blue clicking tool is called a No Easy. I absolutely love this. I have it linked in my Amazon store. And in all my tutorials, in the description section, I'll have the link to my Amazon store. And I always have all my favorite crafting supplies under the crafting supply category. Okay, so I'm going to take all these off. Let's see here. And it's really cool because it cinches your zip tie and cuts it off at the same time. And then it has a little knob at the on the side that you can adjust the tension, like how tight you want the zip ties to get. It's fun. I like it. It took a little while to figure out how to use it, but it's super fun. And it just, I think it goes by really quick. And it's a lot easier than having to pull out your wire cutters for every cut that you're trying to do. So now we're just coming onto this plastic mesh, and we're just placing them wherever we want to place them. And I'm going to try to make sure that we're covering up the zip ties and the previous petals. And I'm going to add as many as I want, and I'm overlapping. Oh, of course. Oh, hi, Sherry. Welcome. This is your first time. Welcome. I just started going live recently. This whole live thing is new for me, and I'm thank you for joining. That means a lot for you to be here. And if you subscribe to my channel, I have you could go to the About page, and then there'll be a way to subscribe, and you can look at all the different tutorials that I have. I like to do a lot of different things and try out different techniques. And there's all different kinds of wreaths. There's pancake ruffle wreaths, there's flower wreaths, a witch's cauldron, a spider, ice cream cone. I like to do a lot of different fun stuff, but I also like to do traditional things as well. But I like to do a lot of like the fun flowers and just kind of unique, funsy kind of stuff. Oh, minimalist, thank you. Welcome. Oh, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. I'm just going to take a little coffee sip here, and then we're going to finish this up, and then you're all going to help me decide what center we're going to do, because I have some options, and you guys, I'm gonna count on you to pick out which one. I'm going to show you different ones. Chrissy, it just depends on what wreath you're doing. You know, there's no like set price. You can't, you know, some wreaths are a lot more involved and they take a lot more mesh. So of course they're going to cost more. You can do some wreaths with one roll of mesh. So it all just depends on what you're making. And that's why, you know, every wreath is priced different, because some wreaths, they require a lot more time to make, and some are a lot easier and less material. So it all depends. Sherry, I didn't really say how much mesh to buy on this yet, but I'm going to calculate it, because I used a lot of I used rolls that I had already used already. So I had a lot of half rolls that I was trying to use up. So I would think that 2 rolls of this mesh would be plenty. These are the smaller Amazon rolls. You could probably get by with 1 roll of the Craft Outlet mesh, 1 roll of the yellow, and 1 roll of the green. And it's and I'll have all the supply list once this video uploads, which it usually takes a while to upload. It usually takes overnight, actually. And then I'll go back in the description section and I will list the supply list and all the links to my my social media, my Amazon store. I'll do all that kind of stuff. So if you just wait until tomorrow, I'll have the supply list for this. But in all my tutorials, if you go to the description section, there is a supply list for everything. And I learned that the hard way, because people get really upset when you don't leave that supply list. And when I was new to my channel, woo, boy, people let me have it. So I learned that. Always leave a supply list. And I do the best to list everything that you need for the tutorial. Oh, thank you, Shatika. Thank you. We're making our way. Before we added this last layer, we might even have to do more, because well, we'll look at the center in a minute, because I don't know, the center might not be that big to cover this area. So let's see here. We're just layering. There's no right or wrong. Earlier, before I did this last layer, I had a 12-inch sign that fit beautifully in this wreath. And you don't have to do a center like we're doing. You could do a sign as your center, which is really fun. There's so many options for all of these wreaths. And we're trying out a new petal, which is called the no-fray petal, and it's really cute how it has that nice little tip to it. Oh, Sherry. Oh, well, you're going to have a beautiful wreath on your door too. Yeah, the sign. I really like the sign. If I would have thought about that earlier, we would have just done the sign. But I had something else in mind for this. And I need to... Boy, we finished that. We might still have to make a couple more petals. I spaced them out a little closer than when I originally laid them out. But that's okay. That's what's so easy about this petal. It's quick and easy. You don't have to pull out your wood burner. And probably, I would think, 2 more petals are going to do it there. So let's cut a couple more. Yeah, so like you could get by with this last round with like a little 8-inch sign would be perfect. If you didn't do that last round, that 12-inch sign fit perfect. All right, so let's cut a few more petals, and then I'm going to show you some different sign options. Oh, they're gonna love your wreath, Sherry. If you make one of these flower wreaths, everyone's gonna ask you about your wreath. And I think these would be really fun to do in senior living for like activities and the activity department to make a beautiful wreath together. I used to work at a lot, I've worked at a lot of assisted livings. I used to be a CNA, and I think that would be really fun to do. I might have to go to some places and suggest that. That would be fun. And you're just getting it the way you want it. Pinked and Pickled, welcome. Hi. We're finishing up we're getting ready to finish up our yellow petals, and then everyone's going to help me with what center that we're going to do for that. All right, I really like this petal. I could see I'm going to be using this petal a lot. And it would be really pretty in regular deco mesh, because with it doubled over like that, it would be a really pretty vibrant color. Okay, so, and we're just trimming off some of the excess here. All right, let's add these and then see if that's going to fill up what we're looking for here. Yeah, I think that's going to be perfect. So we're going to add these last two, and we're going on to our, oh, they have craft class every Wednesday. Oh, that would be really fun. I wonder if that's where they made their wreaths that they have on their doors in the craft class. That would be really fun to go to. Do you like it there? Are you happy there, Sherry? Because a lot of them have like really good food. And then if you want, you could pick out, you know, which side you want overlapped, or. Okay, we're on to this very last one, and then we'll clip off all those zip ties. And I think that that should hopefully be work for our center. It's very quiet. Well, quiet's good. Do they have like entertainment that come in too and keep you busy? Oh yeah, like assisted living, right? I know a couple of the ones that I worked out, they had beautiful dining rooms, and the food was really good. That zip tie didn't work there. Let's add one more right here. All right, so after this, we're going to figure out our center and put this final finishing touch on our wreath. But look at how pretty that is. I mean, that is gorgeous with all those layers. Oh, so it's like your own apartment, and then you have, do they have like transportation that takes you places that you want to go? Thank you, Chrissy. See how much quicker that is with this gun than having to pull out your wire clipper for every clip. It just gets a little messy because they start flying through the room, and then you have to sweep everything up. Oh, that's good. Yeah. So you have your own apartment. Uh-huh. Nice. Nice. Well, I'm sure once you get settled in, you're going to meet a lot of people and make lots of friends. It's called a No Easy, Sheila, and it's linked in my Amazon store. And it's a great little tool. It helps cinch your zip ties and cuts them off at the same time. And then it has a little dial here where you can adjust the tension to make it tighter or looser. It's really cool. It's really fun. Okay, so we got that done. So let me go ahead and clear off some of this mess here. And then I'm going to show you some different options that we're going to do. And you can help me decide what we want to do for the center. All right, so we're done with all of this. Okay. All right, so let's see here. And we're done with this. So I'm going to grab my hot glue gun. I'm going to show you some different options here, the things that we can do. Because you can buy the floral centers that are already pre-made. Here's one from Unique in the Creek from a kit that they sent me that I haven't done yet. But these pre-made centers are great. Look at that, and you're done. So pretty. Makes it very easy. They sell these at Hobby Lobby. You can get them from Craft Outlet. So that makes it very convenient. So here's another way. Let me have some more coffee. Told you I was up till 4 in the morning, so I need my coffee to keep it going here. And I got to finish up my tutorial for this Sunday, and then I'm working on my tutorial for the following Sunday. So it's been very busy here in the studio. All right, so here are some things that I thought of that we could do. So first off, I get these little rounds. I get them from the Dollar Tree. They come 2 in a pack, and these are great ways to make a floral center. Okay, so they go right there in the center, and then you can design them however you want. So here's a couple options that I like to do with these. Well, first of all, how my crafting brain thinks. I saw this at Dollar Tree, and I immediately thought, wow, that would make a really cool center. Look at that. Wouldn't that be fun? So that's option number 1. It's just a little basket. I thought that would be cute. And I thought it would be cute too to paint it like a dark brown, which I didn't have time to do, but I think it would still look really cute. So that's option number 1. So this is where I'm going to need your help and your input of what you think would be the best center. Option number 2, they have these in the Hobby Lobby in the fall section. They have little hydrangea, like brown floral picks. So I haven't finished this yet. This is just an option. And I started adding some of those florals on here. And we would add some more to fill it up, which I think would be really pretty. Super pretty, because you have all that texture with the hydrangea. So that's option number 2. So we have the basket. We have the hydrangeas. Another option would be, now these are like almost like a maroon, and they look really pretty. I just did this center on my tutorial for this Sunday, and they were in a yellow, and it turned out so pretty. So this would be another option, is to, you just fill this up with these flowers. and it would just fill up really pretty. Okay, so that's going to be another option. And then the last option would be, let me take all these off, would be some chunky yarn. You get this from Hobby Lobby, and we could just start gluing this in a spiral onto this floral foam and fill up the whole thing, and it still has that texture from the yarn. This is just, I'm trying to give you so you can get a visual here. And of course it would be nice and full. So that would be another option. Something like that. And another option too is you don't even need the floral foam. We could do like a chain stitch on this chunky yarn and then just start rolling it and making a bit our own center that way. So that's another option. So what do you think? So should we do the chunky yarn? Should we do the basket? Should we do the hydrangeas? Or should we make another floral with a bunch of these more deep kind of maroon florals? So what do you think? Let me know what you think. And then we will finish up the center. I know, I thought the basket was really fun, huh, Shannon? Do you think it looks okay with it not being that dark brown? I just think that was so cute. It's funny how the crafting mind thinks. I was like, ooh, that would be a cool center for a flower. Yeah, and the dark yarn. You like the yarn? Yeah, I didn't have time to paint this, or I would have painted it. I would have just put some brown mixed with some water and just, and that would have been a really quick, fix. I know, I think the basket's kind of, I'm torn between the basket fit, it's a good size for there. Or you can even do the yarn around the basket. Anyway, I'm getting carried away here. But then part of me is like really loving these hydrangeas too. I think we'll do the basket. Let's do the basket and see. Now I didn't quite think about how I would connect it. I was kind of thinking, I was thinking about gluing this in the basket and then putting my floral picks, or making the little pick things that I make, and then securing it that way. I think we'll do the basket. Let's do the basket. The basket's fun. Yep, you can use the jute as well. Yep. Yeah, all of those. There's so many options. So many options. That's what would be great with this chunky yarn, is you could just do a crochet, like a chain stitch. And then you would just, you wouldn't even need, you could just do it nice and thick, and then you just start rolling it up like if it was like the felt, and then you just make a big old flower center. Run it through the sides. I'm afraid then you're gonna see it though if I do that, unless I could catch it in the middle. I think I'm gonna try to glue this thing in here, and then I'll just have this to connect it. So let me show you another trick that if this is your first time joining me, it's one of my go-to tricks here. I mean, it's not really a trick, but it's just what I use to, I just take a piece of wire that comes from any of your florals, and I'll make my own, kind of like a little floral pin. I'll just make it into a V here, and then I'm just going to hot glue it into this floral foam right here. And then I have a little hook that I can use for my pipe cleaner or floral wire. And then I'll just add the hot glue. I know my hot glue gun's really ugly. I haven't got another one yet. I need to add that to my list. It's very used. It's been through the ringer. So then you have these little hooks that we just made. So I think I'm just going to try to glue this in here. I think that's going to work out just fine. And then we have the little hooks. And I'm almost out of hot glue. Yeah, it's time for a new glue gun. I know a lot of people gave me some suggestions because I want to get one of those cordless ones with the with the battery. I think mine's on its outs. It is. Doesn't seem like it's working very good right now. Well, I guess it's time for a new glue gun. I think that one is not, it's starting to die. All right, hopefully this will work. I'm just going to try to shove it in here. Has anybody tried the Vaseline? I heard if you put Vaseline at the tip of the, yeah, I know, Chrissy, right? Bye, you've been very good to me. I'm very sad to see you go. I actually bought another one, the same one, a while back because when I was editing my videos, I was like, oh my gosh, that gun looks horrible. Looks hideous. And then I got the same one and then it just kept dripping constantly. So I was like, I didn't notice in time and I couldn't send it back, but I want to get one of those with the battery packs. But yeah, I've seen people do the, I just need to grab some pipe cleaners. The, with those Ryobi ones, and those look really nice. And then I'm just going to take some pipe cleaners and bring it through my little hooks that we made. So there is a lot of options. You could braid your deco mesh, get different lengths and braid it, and then just do a circle. You could do the felt, the big felt strips where you fold it, make it about a couple inches, fold it in half, glue it, and then you do the little clip, 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 and then roll it, and it makes a beautiful flower center. So there's a lot of options. And I always have a lot of, I always like to do these centers because there's just so many options. So now I'm just going to take our little handy dandy basket, and I can always paint it later if I want, but I honestly like it like it is. It looks fine, but it would look cool in the dark brown. And I think that worked out good. It's covering up all those zip ties. And hopefully that will stay in there. I'll have to add to make sure that it has enough glue in there. And I'm just using this through the mesh. And if you're selling these, if you're giving them away, you want to make sure you always finish off your backs. And the best way to do that, I think, is either with a piece of felt. You just trace your wreath frame. You could hole punch and zip tie to your frame, or you can also use foam core, which I like to do a lot, and you get that from either Staples or sometimes the Dollar Tree, and it's not poster board, it's foam core, so it's thicker. And then I'll use an X-Acto knife, hole punch, and secure it. I do a lot of mine that way. And there you have our beautiful basket centerpiece, which I think that looks really fun. Really fun. Little metal rings. I made those, Chrissy. I made those with a piece from my flowers, just a little piece of wire. I just clipped it. Of course, you can use floral pins, actual floral pins, but they're a little bit long for that foam. You'd have to trim them, so you could just make your own. That's all I do, is just take a little piece of the floral wire stem and just bend it into a V and hot glue it right in the foam. And it makes it really easy and very cost effective. Thank you, Chrissy. Oh, Trina, thank you. Happy? Yeah, I think it would be good in the dark brown as well. So that is this beautiful flower with the no-fray technique. You could do this in so many colors, would be beautiful. I think it would be really fun in white. Oh yeah, go stack up. They had them there. Of course, you got to pay $1.75 now. Which isn't fun anymore. I don't think it took the fun out of shopping at the Dollar Tree. Now you got to really rethink, do I really need 10 of those? So I'm excited to have shared this no-fray petal with you. I saw it and I really wanted to give it a try, and I think it just looks really cute with those pointed tips, and it would be so pretty and so many different colors. And that the green leaves just really pop, and you can always adjust any of your petals if you want to. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, if you hit that about button, it'll have the little subscribe button. Please do. It really helps me and my channel. And if you could like it, give me a thumbs up, and this just helps push my content out in the YouTube algorithm so more people can see, and I can continue to bring these lives to you each week. And we're just exploring right now. We're having fun with different petals. We did the regular sunflower with the regular petal, and we've also did that same petal with the pumpkin wreath, and we've done a spiral wreath. So if you're new to my lives, you can always check out any of the lives on replay, and I have lots of tutorials, different styles of wreaths. If you're new to my channel, just scroll down because there's a lot. I'm going on 3 years, and I'm just continuing to learn and grow and bring new techniques to you all. And thank you, Letha. Oh, Lori, thank you. Thank you. Her husband named me the Wreath Queen, the West Coast Wreath Queen. And I think that's so funny. That's so cute. Thank you, Betty. We'll see you all next Thursday. Thank you for coming. Thanks for watching Hollie Hobbies, from my heart to yours. Bye.